He had been the first one in and the last one out for 10 years. 10 years of early mornings and late nights and weekends that blurred into Monday without anyone noticing the cost. He had built something real inside that company. His name was on projects. His ideas were in the walls. And on a Thursday afternoon in November, with no warning and 4 minutes in a room with HR, it was over. He drove home in silence. He sat in his car in the driveway for 40 minutes without going inside, and the thought that kept returning, the one he couldn't push away, was not anger. It was this: if that's gone, I don't know who I am. In the forests of Yellowstone National Park, on the afternoon of June 23, 1988, a small fire started near a creek. Rangers expected it to go out on its own. It did not. Over the following months, the fires spread across nearly 800,000 acres. The images were catastrophic. Stands of lodgepole pine that had taken a century to grow, gone in hours. The forest floor, black and smoking, looked like the surface of another planet. Scientists predicted it would take generations to recover. They were wrong. The following spring, something happened that changed the way ecologists understood fire forever. Within months of the burn, over 200 species of plants had returned to the forest floor, not slowly, not cautiously, explosively, because the ash, the remains of everything that had burned, had returned decades of accumulated nutrients directly to the soil. The canopy that had blocked the light for a century was gone, and seeds that had been lying dormant in the soil for years, some of them sealed inside cones that only open under extreme heat, germinated for the first time. The fire had not destroyed the forest, it had reset it, and what happened in the months after is one of the most important things that nature has ever taught us about what comes after everything falls apart. Ecologists call it succession, the process by which a landscape rebuilds itself after a catastrophic event, not randomly, but in a precise, intelligent sequence. First come the pioneer species. Fireweed is one of them. Within weeks of the Yellowstone fires, fireweed began to carpet the burned ground in purple and pink. It grows fast, it fixes nitrogen in the soil, and it creates the conditions that the next species will need to survive. The pioneer doesn't build the final forest, it builds the foundation for it. Then come the shrubs, then the young trees, then, over years, the full complexity of a living ecosystem, richer, in many cases, than what existed before the fire. Succession is not recovery. Recovery implies returning to what was. Succession is the emergence of something new from the material of what was lost. And the psychology of human reinvention, what the research says actually happens inside people who rebuild after catastrophic loss, maps almost perfectly onto what happens in a forest after fire. His name was Roberto. He was 47 years old when the company let him go. Project manager, senior level, a decade of institutional knowledge walking out the door in a cardboard box. The first month was shock. He applied for jobs that looked like the one he had lost. Same industry, same title, same structure, because that felt like the fastest path back to solid ground. None of them called back. The second month was grief. He stopped getting dressed before noon. He told his wife he was fine and spent 3 hours a day staring at a ceiling that had nothing useful to tell him. The third month was the month he almost made a decision that would have cost him everything, taking a role he hated because the fear of the open field was more than he could hold. He didn't take it, not out of courage, out of exhaustion. He was too tired to perform enthusiasm he didn't feel, and in that exhaustion, in the space that opened when he stopped trying to rebuild what had burned, something shifted. He started remembering things, not the job, earlier than the job. What he had wanted before the decade of early mornings had compressed his sense of possibility into a single corridor. The fire had burned the canopy, and for the first time in 10 years, There was light reaching the ground. Psychologist William Bridges spent decades studying what he called transitions, not the events that change a life, but the internal process that follows them. He made a distinction that most people never hear. He separated change from transition. Change, he said, is external. It happens to you. Transition is internal. It is what you do with what happened. And at the center of every real transition, Bridges identified a phase he called the neutral zone, not a beginning, not an end, a wilderness, a period of confusion, disorientation, and apparent emptiness that most people spend enormous energy trying to escape by forcing premature decisions, by rushing back into structure, by filling the silence before it can tell them anything. But Bridges argued, and decades of case studies supported him, that the neutral zone is not the problem, it is the point. It is the burned forest floor in winter, nothing visible, nothing dramatic, but below the surface, in the dark, the dormant seeds are breaking open. Roberto didn't find his next chapter in a job board. He found it in the neutral zone 3 months in on a Tuesday morning when he finally stopped trying to rebuild the canopy and sat with the question he had been avoiding. Not, how do I get back to where I was? But, now that I can see the ground, what do I actually want to grow here? The research on burnout has reached a conclusion that most organizations still refuse to accept. Burnout is not caused by working too much. It is caused by working too long in conditions that conflict with your values, your autonomy, or your sense of meaning. Christina Maslach, the psychologist who developed the most widely used burnout assessment tool in the world, identified 6 specific mismatches that produce burnout: workload, control, reward, community, fairness, values. And her research shows that when the values mismatch becomes chronic, when you spend years doing work that your deeper self does not recognize as meaningful, the exhaustion is not just physical, it is existential. The forest didn't burn because it was weak. It burned because decades of accumulated deadwood, layers of dry, undecomposed material that had built up without being cleared, had created conditions where a single spark could take everything. Burnout works the same way. The fire is rarely the cause. It is the consequence of everything that wasn't allowed to clear, and the forest, after the fire, does not mourn the dead wood. It uses the ash. Here is what the succession model looks like as a practice. The first thing is to resist the impulse to rebuild immediately. The pioneer species doesn't try to restore the old forest. It does the specific work that this moment requires, which is to prepare the soil for something that doesn't exist yet. Your version of fireweed is different for everyone. For some people, it is rest, actual rest, not performed recovery. For others, it is the small, low-stakes project that asks nothing of your identity and everything of your curiosity. For others, it is the conversation you've been postponing with yourself about what you actually believe your life is for. The second thing is to take the neutral zone seriously. Don't fill it. Let it ask its questions. The discomfort of not knowing is not a problem to be solved. It is information arriving in the only form that this moment can deliver it. The third thing is to look for the dormant seeds. They are always there. The interests that were too impractical, the directions that were too risky, the version of yourself that the decade of structure didn't have room for. The fire didn't destroy those seeds. It created the conditions for them to finally open. If what we explore here speaks to something in you, the intersection of nature, philosophy, and the real questions of how to live, subscribe to this channel. What's coming next was built for people who are willing to think differently about who they are becoming. You are not starting over. You are starting from everything you built, everything you learned, everything the fire showed you about what was dead wood and what was root. The forest that grows after fire is not the same forest. It is deeper, more diverse, more resilient. It has been tested in a way that the old growth never was. Roberto left project management. He spent 18 months building something smaller, slower, and entirely his own. He told his wife it was the first time in 11 years that he went to sleep looking forward to the morning, not because it was easier, because it was his. The fire took what was built. It could not touch what was possible, and neither can yours.